ਖਬਰਾਂ। ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਆਫ ਹੋਮਲੈਂਡ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਆਈਸ ਡਿਪੋਰਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਰੇਡਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੈਂਟ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਡਰ ਜਿਹਾ ਬੈਠ ਗਿਆ। ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਟੁੱਟ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਂ, ਪਿਓ, ਭੈਣ ਅਤੇ ਭਰਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਵਿਛੜ ਗਏ ਹਨ। ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਰੇਡਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਅਨਐਜੂਕੇਟਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਰਾਈਟਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਘੱਟ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਸਮਝਣ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਮੰਨੇ ਹੋਏ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਟਾਰਨੀ ਜਾਨ ਲਾਵਰਟ ਸਕਾਈਪ ਤੇ ਹਨ ਜੋ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ। Hello, John. Thank you for joining us today. And John,
it's my pleasure.
John, so we understand that the Homeland Security has started their ICE deportation raids and have captured over about 100 people. Is there a deadline on how long these raids will continue, or is this now the norm?
I think they're going to continue indefinitely. There are thousands of Central American families who came to the United States and applied for political asylum. Unfortunately, political asylum is a part of U.S. immigration law that's very narrowly construed.
Right.
And so even if USCIS kept up with the national average of approvals, only 35% of people that apply for asylum ever get it.
Okay.
The other 65% are subject to removal if they're out of status when their asylum case is denied. And of course the Central American refugees, when they came to the United States, all entered the United States unlawfully. So once their asylum case had gone through the system and had been denied and all the appeals had been heard, the order of removal became final and immigration is free to go around the country and pick up every single person who has a final order of removal. And that's what they're doing. And largely it's being fueled, of course, by pressure from Donald Trump, who's accusing the Democrats of being soft on immigration. That's what's behind all this. I don't believe without Mr. Trump this would have happened.
Right. And so I want to get to the point where what rights do these people have after being captured? And
well, the people who are being arrested have final orders of removal. And so for them to be able to remain in the United States, they would have to be able to discover and prove that there was a flaw in the asylum process. That is, they weren't given translators, they weren't given the opportunity to fully present their case, they had an incompetent attorney. There's only a handful of reasons where you can go back in and reopen the case.
Right.
Now, with the Sikh detainees that we're about to talk about, it's an entirely different situation because they all had final orders of removal, but we found the reason to reopen all their cases.
Right. And the people who are being picked up in the ICE raids, did they have any heads up or like a warning previously to do something about their status?
Yes. Every single immigration judge reads a script that is supplied by the Executive Office of Immigration Review telling the applicant for asylum exactly what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do, and that once all the appeals run, then they start to get correspondence from ICE. Now, whether or not ICE sent out, they're called bag and baggage letters, where they tell the person to report to a certain place with a suitcase to disembark from the United States. I don't know that that was done in this case because I think they thought everybody would run. That's why there was such a short period of time between the president's announcement and the beginning of the arrests.
I see. And as you mentioned before that you have worked for the Sikh community for a long time and you did win a historic case when the illegal Sikh immigrants were detained in Texas. Do you think there's any hope?
Yes, they were all detained.
Right. Do you believe if there's any hope for these detainees that have been captured now?
Well, all of the clients that I represented who were Sikh detainees in El Paso are now free. They all have work permits. And the Board of Immigration Appeals has ordered the Immigration Court to reopen all of their removal proceedings so that we can present a new claim based on the wrongful acts of ICE and a diplomat from the Houston Indian Consulate. So, as far as I know, this is unprecedented in U.S. immigration history for so many people to have their cases reopened en masse and be given a second bite of the apple. And my clients aren't going home. I intend to win every single case.
Right. And let's say if someone has been served with a notice from Immigration or Department of Homeland Security, how can they connect with you for assistance?
Well, they can Google my name. I'm easy to find, John W. Lowit. My last name is spelled Lawit. They could call me on my personal cell phone, 505-206-4222, or they could send me an email at my office, and that would be jwl@darancoulaw.com. Darancoulaw is spelled DARANCOULAW.com.
Got it. And thank you so much, John, for sharing this information with us, and please do keep us updated when there are more developments.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, John.